So fundamentally, all of you are going to be leaders. That's the overall overarching thing which unites all of you, whether you are a marketer or a finance person or an analytics, you are going to be a team leader one day. What I believe in, just two things, right? Empower your people and build the right culture. So empower your people. How to? So first of all, you can only empower the capable. Think of what I said. The thing which you need to be very clear about is that we talk about delegation, empowerment, but you can't delegate to someone who can't do the job. How do you have the right team? You can only have the right team by removing the wrong team. The biggest barrier that you will face in your life, trust me, will be to remove the team. The best idea must win. So, there is no such thing as absolute empowerment. Empowerment is a feeling. When I talk of empowerment, people say, okay, so do you delegate? What is the authority you give? And so on and so forth. No. If you have a good direct report and we're going to make a decision, so you call me and say, okay, this, and you and I are discussing the issue. And as we discuss, we come to a conclusion. Who made the decision? I don't know. I don't care. Neither do you know, neither do you care. All that happened was you had a point of view, I had a point of view, we discussed it, and therefore we came to a conclusion. Here's my experience. When you have two competent people and experienced people talking about a particular issue, you will 99% of the time reach the same conclusion. The only thing that you need to feel in order to feel empowered is that if we don't agree, that you can decide. Empowerment comes with accountability. So, if I empower you and you screw up, should I turn around and tell my boss, well, what can I do? I empowered the person and they screwed up. No, you're accountable. Select the right person. Again, it comes back to that, right? And empower, but keep a watch on certain metrics which will come to you. You get your sales figures, you get your profit figures, you go for visits, you look around, you know that things are fine. The most important things are the informal conversations, not the formal conversations. So if I ask a question of an employee as to, so tell me what's wrong. Employee will be very scared, right? This is a senior guy. If I complain, then I'll get into trouble. He'll go and talk to someone, etc. So they won't want to say. So how do I ask the question? Tell me 3 things you would change. Safe question, right? Safe question, right? 3 things you would change. So the person will say, well, I think I would change this, this, this. Now I know where the problem is. So it's how you look at these metrics which are really important, right? Walk the talk. Yep. So when you're a leader, who should you applaud? Should you applaud the person who presents or the person who does the work? The answer is very clear, right? The person who does the work. Problem is, we applaud the presenter. But tell me who's actually achieved this market share, who's actually done this work. It is important as a leader that you get behind the presenter and find the person who's actually done the job and recognize that person. Continuous feedback and coaching. So most of the companies have a methodology with HR. At the end of the year, you do a performance review and you talk to the person, give them some feedback. So that's the HR process. I continuously talk to my employee. All I do at the end of the year is I say, what do you think I've given you in terms of your performance review? And what I hope is when that person says, well, this is what I think I deserve, that I would have given that. Then I say, and what are the 2 developmental opportunities that you're working on? And what he says or she says should be in sync with what I think. If not, shame on me. Building the right culture, right? So this is thing which I've talked about always. Simpler, leaner equals faster. The biggest thing in today's age, consumers, those of you who are going for marketing and consumer products, the single biggest advantage that you can create for yourself, competitive advantage, is speed. Speed to market in terms of launches, campaigns, adapting to technologies, anything. Speed is what you need to do. and the whole organization will work in reducing your speed. Yesterday I was interviewing someone. Every time I would just get the resume and I come and interview. This time I had a resume and a form. Why should I fill the form? I interviewed the person. I'll send you an email saying I like the candidate for this reason. And I say it in meetings, I say it in the middle of the hall, because what I'm sending a signal to everyone is I will not accept bureaucracy, and if any of you find bureaucracy, kill it. Bias for action. I have something called revenue growth management. It's an analysis which takes place in the business, and basically what you do through that analysis is find opportunities in order to improve growth and profit. I started to review it, and excellent analysis, pages and pages of analysis. And I said, what have you done? No, right now we just analyzed it, and therefore, we will now start taking actions. And I said, okay, here's the rule now. I will not read anything unless you have a front page which talks about the actions you've taken. Things started getting done. So be clear as leaders. What is it that you want? Have that very clear and ask for that. Okay, so motivation. I hear a lot of things, let's give Friday off, let's have fruits in the office, let's have this, let's have yoga in the office, massage, this, that, right? But what's important is you should have a clean workplace and the tools for you to do your work. That's what you need. The motivation comes from winning. There is nothing more powerful to motivate people than to be part of a winning team. Do not think your employees are after benefits and salary and this and that. That's all there. You need to be fair, you need to be market-based and so on. But if you want employees who will never leave you, win. Always win. Culture. What is culture? And there's, you'll read reams of books on culture, which are a lot of theory. At the end of the day, your employees are not stupid. They look at your actions, and your actions determine culture. Who you hire, who you fire, and who you promote determines your culture. I just said to you, I believe in not applauding the presenters. I believe in applauding the people who do the real work. And then I go and promote the presenter. And you say, so this is actually a company which believes in presentations and not real work. That is your conclusion. I can say anything I want, right? You say, I've got values written there, right? Authentic, accountable, innovative, caring, right? Caring. Caring is a value, but I treat you with utter disrespect. So it's there on the board, but I'm treating you with disrespect. Is caring my real value? You'll say, what nonsense, right? These guys say it, but they don't do it. The how is as important as the what. I'm giving you a lot of stuff, right? The what is very standard. How you execute the strategy is the differentiating factor. People love to sit in offices and write strategy. No, get into the market or get onto the websites and figure out what's really, go and talk to consumers, go to their homes, ask them things, go to the real stuff. That is the differentiating factor, not, you wrote a brilliant strategy. These are some things I wrote about myself, right? And you could reflect on that. Do I feel passionate about what I do? I would pay Kimberly-Clark to give me this job. Does my team trust me? Very, very important for a leader, right? That your team must feel that you will make them win. The team must believe that you are there for them. Am I building something that my team will be proud of, that I and my team will be proud of? When you are my age, so far, if I ask any of you, you'll say I'm 30 or I'm 25 or whatever, right? Which is you're counting from the day you were born forward. There's a point in your life which you reach where you start counting backwards. How much time is left? And the one thing you don't want to have is a regret. I wish I had done this, right? You want to be able to say, I lived life on my terms. You must have lots and lots of stories. Your life is nothing but stories. Think about it. Your life is nothing but stories and relationships. As you think about life, have lots of stories. If you don't have stories, what a boring life. Am I helping people reach their fullest potential? Right? So, it's not that everyone will become a CEO. It's not everyone who will become, a very senior person, but you must help that person to reach their full potential. Relationships, right? So don't trample over other people to get ahead, right? Build relationships in your workplace. They should be friendships for life. Help each other, work with each other. It's something which nurtures the human spirit. So, this is a do I have stories to share over coffee, which is the final test for me. If at the age of 65, there are people who want to have coffee with me, I've lived a good life. Because I've touched them enough to want to come and have coffee with me. And those who have not built relationships, who have not helped people, who have not been trusted, will be very lonely. But those who have done these things will never want for someone to have a cup of coffee with.